Welcome to Recall My Story, Season 2. Today we have a lovely guest from Andhra Pradesh, Mr. Jaydeep. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you having me on the show.
And how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling better compared to the last 30 days I've been. I'm really looking forward to share my experience because I think the positivity is something that is very much needed when you are recovering from COVID. Because everywhere we look at, there is only gloomy news and sad stories around us, creating a panic. So I think this thing is really important for people who are recovering from COVID, and it will be of great help to them. So I'm really looking forward for this session.
Very rightly said, in this gloomy atmosphere, any positivity from anywhere is a bonus point in recovery procedure. That is,
Definitely.
yeah. So, what is your story? We would love to listen.
I would start with the first day when I got tested. Uh, so suddenly I was playing cricket. So it was lack of my understanding of the severity of the situation. I used to take COVID a bit light. I was playing cricket with my friends. Suddenly, my body temperature raised, and I wanted to check very quickly. That was a good thing that happened to me. I went the very day to the clinic to get tested, and when they told it is COVID, uh, I got very much anxious and scared because I was living with my mom, and she has health issues. So I got nervous, like, did I carry this COVID to my friends or family? And secondly, I was anxious what is going to happen with me. And the very moment when people got to know, when it was announced, it was a small clinic actually. I got a rapid test done. So people started distancing from me. I almost got into tears. Like they told I have to get a blood test too to check the severity of the COVID. But at that moment, I was not in a frame of mind that I can be able to do that. I told I'll get it done tomorrow. I'm just leaving because I just got that feeling of an untouchable there. But I don't say it's their fault too. If I was there at the other end, I would react the same way because empathy would be something and keeping ourselves safe is something. I understood at that point, like, why we need to empathize with the COVID patients. Like in the ringtone, they keep on saying like, "Don't treat them badly." So
Right.
it's genuinely not their mistake too. It happens. So at that moment, I was very anxious, very scared. I got back to home. I informed from a distance to my mom, and I suddenly, like, it was all of a sudden, I had to go into a room, and there was no coming back from there. So that was the first day. And the lowest point of this entire COVID journey also happened the very day. It was very new to me. I couldn't sleep all that day because my room was very much closed. One thing I should thank God because we are fortunate enough that we have a huge house with three bedrooms and a balcony. So my mom used to stay at the other part of the house. I got for myself two bedrooms. So for that I am fortunate enough because I heard stories of three people, four people staying in a single room. It's not so easy. It's very suffocating to be inside those four walls. Luckily, I had a balcony and all to survive. So that day I couldn't sleep. All these thoughts like, will I wake up tomorrow? What is gonna happen to me? Because the fever 103, I never had a 103 fever in my entire life. It was complete restlessness, and from that very day, my sleep cycle was disturbed, and it didn't come back to normal even today. I'm still trying because the COVID, I people think it impacts lungs, heart, and all very much. But more than that, it impacts our mental stability. It creates anxiety, it creates nervousness, it takes away our confidence. And I don't blame the family or relatives or friends. They just want to talk with us at that point of time. They want to tell us like morally they are with us. But unfortunately, with this social media era, I used to get all this advices that today is gonna be critical. The days 5 to 7 are critical. Things get changed rapidly. Suddenly, the oxygen levels will dip down. So these people died. These priests are dying. Like someone sent me a video of Guntur government hospital's mortuary. Hundreds of bodies were there. Like these kinds of news were being shared. So it was actually every night used to be a moment of low because in the morning I used to sleep, eat. I used to have a proper routine actually. That was one of the good experiences of COVID. I got very much disciplined because I have to do the yoga in the morning, then the steaming, gargling, eating food, washing my clothes on my own, washing my dishes on my own, then taking a bath, medicines, everything is very much time consuming. It is a proper routine actually. It made me bit disciplined, which I was never in my life,
So it
and
was
got me.
also like a blessing in disguise. It
Yes,
taught
it was
you how
actually.
to be independent.
Yes, like actually, it was a blessing in disguise because I'm going to get a job, or like I'm going for a job in a month. I'll be starting in my professional life, so it's actually like doing all my household chores and being independent is one thing I have learned from COVID actually.
That is
That is the
very
good part.
that's very nice, like to listen that okay, there is some let's say brownie points from this also.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, like from the turning point for me in this entire journey is I understood if I keep talking to people is necessary, that makes us feel good. But I just didn't want too many stories to be heard. I just kept myself away from social media. I was complete social media addict. I used to post stories every day almost. I used to check social media every minute. I used to have the anxiety for social media, but it was completely gone. It was more of peaceful life, and it was the turning point when I switched off myself from all the social media and all the negative stories that are being circulated. And I got a deep sense of connectivity back to my spiritual life. Like I used to be a good believer earlier, but later I got into college and all. I got myself away from God. But it's actually important. Like I understood the importance of spirituality in life too, along with the discipline part. So all I said to myself was, I'm being disciplined. I'm doing whatever was being told to me in a proper way. I used to believe in the process I am doing. I was praying daily. I was praying for people along with me. I was doing all the things properly, like 2 times steaming, 3 times gardening, whatever they told, nutritious food and all. I was getting myself tested 4 to 5 days every time, like to test the LDH, CRP, certain levels. So that's how I thought the process is very much important. That a process gives us very much confidence that we are in the right way. Luckily, I didn't get any oxygen, uh, like lack of oxygen thing, but I think the process helped me eventually because there will be hundreds of stories, negative stories. The sensationalism of the media will never leave us, and they are actually true that some people are getting impacted heavily. But there is always a hope. Like hope is what that has led me in those 14 days. Without hope, without hope, it is impossible. And I am a hypochondriac. Like I overreact to even small illness. Like I got my blood tested 3 to 4 times during those 14 days. I was very much panicking kind of person whenever I get bit of sickness. But this 14 days period has changed me like for good. I understood. It's just like I want to share one of my friend's story too. Like his uncle was very much fine. Like he was admitted the very first day. He was completely fine. He was doing well. But unfortunately, when he got to know his son needs oxygen, he panicked. Like everything was going well, he got panicked. And unfortunately, we lost him.
Okay.
And most of the cases that I heard, all are happening just because of panic. Like, panic does nothing, like, literally exaggerate, like, aggravating the current situation. It does nothing. Like, we can't do much. Like, we can only do whatever is in our hands. And if we do that properly, I can assure you that even severities won't be happening. It all happens just because of the panic and the feeling that we only, like, actually when we are all alone, we start feeling every sensation of our body while we are lying down on bed, and we actually interpretate so many things, like, why is this happening? Like, it actually happens even when we are normal. Like, we will have slight discomfort in throat, or when we are actually pushing our bodies to one side of the bed, we'll have some pain on some part of the around chest or abdomen region. These are all common things which we interpret it in a complete different manner when we have COVID and getting ourselves into panic mode. Panic is the last thing we need when we are recovering from COVID, and it is absolutely unnecessary. There is a very thin line between uh, being disciplined and doing all the, like, checking your oxygen, checking your temperature. That and all is fine, but panicking is not at all needed. And the only medicine to this is staying away from the social media and all the negative stories and even the negative people. If they, though their intentions are good to help us, it's better to stay away. That actually helped me to be right.
So it's like being disciplined but not overdoing it and staying away from the stories or the hype around this by like bombardment of only negative stories. So staying away from this will be a relief factor.
Definitely a relief factor, ma'am, because I used to sleep better when I stopped reading all these stories. Because, okay, our day will be almost finished. Then I used to like go through the social media. Then there are so many stories. Then I read. Then I overthink. I couldn't sleep. I used to sleep around 3 to 4. Like, sleeping is very important factor, like, to recover. Once I stopped following all this negativity in the social media, I could sleep well before the time I used to sleep. I got back to normalcy actually. And actually, I used to watch the videos which gave me confidence instead. So there is this doctor KK Agarwal. Unfortunately, he died recently. But the I think I felt every doctor should be like him. Like, he just told, okay, this is what to be done. This is what you need to check. If this is something wrong, you need to go to hospital. It's very basic. Even if we have any other disease, this is the process. You have to take the healthy food. You have to maintain a proper ordeal of your lifestyle. Then even if something is not working, then you might need some anti viral injections or something. That is common. Even in the fever part, we'll be taking paracetamol firstly at home. If it is not going down, then we'll go to hospital. It's very easy for me to say this now, but it will be quite difficult when I was going through that phase, at least for the initial part, to understand that COVID is also a disease which can be taken care of by maintaining a disciplined life. That's it. Those 14 days, just forget everything. You have to do this. Like, you have to do yoga. Even if you're feeling better, like after 4 or 5 days, the fever will be gone, everything will be gone. And the symptoms actually differ from people to people. But most of the severities will be gone after 5 to 6 days. Even then, you shouldn't stop it. If you do it properly for 14 days, people actually give up, like, abhi to, uh, I got recovered, like, almost, it's fine. Why to continue all this? Because it's very burdening and taxing for a youngster actually to do all this every day. But you have to push yourself. Pushing yourself is the hardest part.
So taking
It's
self-care.
Yes, self care is the most important thing. during the recovery part.
Okay.
Overall, it
And
is very unique and one kind of experience that you will never experience it in any other manner. This is the only way you have to. It made me a very humble person. Like, I was having a lot of huge plans. I was pressurizing myself before COVID. Like, अरे जिंदगी में ये करना है. I'm about to start my professional life. I'm gonna earn big. I need to invest here. I need to learn these courses. I need to apply this job. Lot of tension, lot of pressure was there. As I got COVID, all I could think of is I just need to survive. Every day I used to thank God, like I have another day in my life. I'm gonna make it count in whatever way I can. Like all this burden of earning wealth, fame, everything was gone. It made me a humble person. Right now, it changed me for good actually. Now, all I can think of is how can I be a better person than yesterday? Not in terms of monetary, but as a social being, how can I be better and how can I make a bit of difference? That's one of the things that I was very much interested in doing this session because we think a lot, we pressurize ourselves a lot, we get into panic a lot. Nothing is needed. Like human life is a very basic life, very cool life. You just need to get over it. Is what I feel right now.
that's a wonderful sharing that you have done. And I am sure all the listeners will benefit once they listen to your simple story and very impactful. Because, when it comes like when one goes through the experience, only then they realize that, okay, this is the depth of it, or this is how it feels. So, if it's coming from you and you have taken that journey, it adds the validity to whatever you are saying. And tell me one thing, who was your support system, and what was the thought that helped you to stay strong when you were feeling low?
My support system, I would say, a couple of my friends, a couple of family members actually. So these friends are very much chill in their life. Like they got COVID when it was not very well known. Like last year, March or April, they got it. So they were telling me their stories. Like we didn't even know how it gets treated at that point of time. At least you know what's gonna happen. And he was actually telling the medicine told it's very common. Like that positivity mindset actually impacted me a lot. Like everywhere it was all the negativity, but this guy used to tell me it's okay, it's nothing. I survived at that point of time when there was no medical facilities and all. Like this time it's fine. We all know what to do. Just don't panic. Don't think too much. Don't go and check that oximeter every 5 minutes. It's fine.
Okay, that is
As
true
that
because uh, it does happen out of fear. Like, I have known that people become paranoid type. Okay, they need to test it. Maybe it's going down.
so it's
Um,
actually a mental thing, ma'am. Like our body. There was actually I was reading this news. Like a guy was told in a prison that he is going to be injected a snake poison. Though they didn't inject him, he died. Later when they tested, there was actually snake poison in him. So the mind actually, our body works in that way. Like the fear actually generated those things, thinking that it's gonna happen. So actually, even though I could take my oxygen properly, I used to always think something is happening to me. Then once I checked the oximeter and it showed me 9900, then that feeling goes off. I'm so fine. Why was I feeling like that? So it's all because of the
so,
panic and
right.
thought.
So this has also made you mentally strong.
Yes, ma'am, definitely. Like after going through the edge, it always feels more confident when you come back from that point.
So, what is your takeaway from this recovery?
I realized there are I had a complete different perspective of the important things in life. I got very much grounded. I know what to take care of. Like initially, I didn't had so much bonding with relatives actually, and friends. I didn't know all these people actually were we were not in touch. But when their messages flooded and our relatives helped by sending food and all, like it got me closer, like socially to actually closer. It's not like the social media thing. Actually closer to relatives and friends made me a grounded human being overall. I can think of that and made me bit spiritually closer to God too.
Okay, and any special message you want to give to our listeners?
Special message. I would say one thing. Keep one ground rule is completely isolate yourself from the bad news. Isolation is very much needed from the negativity. Keep believing the process because we always get to hear about the 2000 deaths. Yes, their lives were important, but around 4 lakhs of cases, 3 lakh 98,000 people recover. Their stories were never heard, and this session is going to give the perspective of those people. That is how how the process helps, how not panicking and staying away from negativity helps during these difficult days. It's not easy. Even after you listen this, it's not easy. Even if I get infected again, I might go through the same again. But it's good to know that it actually works that way because I'll be better prepared than just panic. By the next time, I'll be better equipped. Is what I feel.
Hopefully, you will not get it again. And prayers
Okay.
for you. And take you have to take care continuously for another a month or so that you could recover your strength back.
Yes, ma'am. I actually had my strength back because it impacts people differently.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was taking a very nutritional food during those 14 days, but I still had that little cold and discomfort in my throat. At least for 15 more days, I had it.
So you
It
can
is not good.
practice. So you can, since you're drinking warm water and all, you can practice how to sing, clearing your throat and start singing.
Yeah, definitely. I used to sing.
Don't.
You can do dance and all. You were alone in the room. No one is going to judge. We did all these things to just stay away, like stay free from all the stress.
So will you sing for our listeners?
I'm, um, I'm hyping. Next time for sure. Not this
Okay,
time.
okay. We leave you with that. Thanks a lot, and it was really encouraging and also motivating to listen from your recovery story. And I hope the listeners will realize that we should not panic, as Jaideep has shared, and not be so involved in the social media. So stay away from it, alienating from there, like social detoxification is also very important. And anything else you want to add before we end the session?
Nothing specific, ma'am. Thanks for providing me this opportunity to share my story. I I really know this is gonna impact so many people and help them who are in need to hear to all these things. Thanks for the great initiative and all the very best for this season, ma'am.
Thank you so much, and all the best to you. Take care.
Thank you, ma'am. Take care, you too.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, ma'am.